record when it comes to opening games at international events. They've picked up everyone so far.
Yeah, they don't have a great track record when it comes to ICEBOX, though. So we'll see which one is going to be stronger going into this matchup. But yeah, it's going to be the early start now over on that attacking side for DRX. And honestly, I think that this is one of those series for Zeta where I agree with Bala. Like, if they don't win this map, I think it's going to be incredibly difficult for them, especially with their overall track record at these sort of events.
Well, look at this. We're only a couple of seconds into the round, and it seems there's been a clear definition of where this is going. The B side is under threat. You don't see this in EMEA all too often, and they're starting it off with a lot of aggression. Look who's already up in the spawn. Stax trying to chase Depp down, but now he's in a bit of an awkward spot. He needs help. They need to come and try to help him out of this corner because it looks like Zeta know that he's in there. They're clearing it as they go. They've got to deal with Stax in the spawn, and he goes out wide. Reload off, and a third almost found, but TENNN just about survives. And look who's wrapping around the back. Another kill in the way of DRX.
Yeah, this is starting to become incredibly difficult for the defenders, but Sugar Zero will be able to clear one off the back and leaving it down into that 2v2. The problem, though, is that that spike is ticking. They have to get a move on, and there's still utility just landing to try and deny them off that defusal. The swing does have to come through, but it's already done. DRX are going to get themselves the pistol, and wow.
I guess come in swinging on the attack.
Yeah, I don't think it's like crazy, especially with how ICEBOX, especially in the past, was very attacker-sided, and with their composition as well. Like, they're going to have lots of opportunities, especially to try and deny that utility. Like, when you have, again, a chamber, a lot of the time you want to get aggressive and escape. Well, if you can't escape, it becomes a little bit more difficult, and especially with a lot of the defense you're going to see over on this A site, a lot of the time you rely on Viper utility, for example. Well, if that's gone, it becomes very tough.
They've done well to get a kill here already with Stax going down. Also, the early orb by Laz, he managed to farm it and TP out. That's a great shot coming out of depth. This is starting to look doable, even with these weak pistols. And Eco for Zeta. That Spectre should do a lot, but they're really not landing their shots right now. It's starting to get a little scary for DRX, but then finally, they come in to save the day. Defuse on the way, but they'll easily have enough manpower to break that wall. Still, 2 players lost, you know, considering they get onto the site, they do all the hard parts,
but you then also have, I would say, stronger duelists, and duelists, I guess, with more depth, and that was not meant to be a
yeah. Gotta have to be careful of that one. DRX, they've come in and they've not invested too much here, you know? Even though they lost the 2 players in the last, they're happy to go for a much faster strategy. Plant's gonna go down. Now, they tried to deny that with the snake bite and poison orb, but nothing's really going to come through from Zeta to aggress into it. So that space is taken for free. The plant is found, and now with the weaker weapons, they've got a much better chance if they can catch these players off guard. Already Zest has done well to find the first, and that avenue of approach is completely blocked out by the nade. But Sugar Zero's coming in on another angle, helping them out and retaking this control. This is a round Zeta should have in the bag, but these weapons can catch you off guard, and they're certainly doing that.
Yeah, this is incredibly dangerous, especially in a bonus round, and MaKo comes through at the end and just closes things out. I think 2 of the teams in his group out of 3, so I guess he's basically saying he doesn't want to play against NIP, but you take that as you will.
I think it's more from a track record, right? He's got some revenge to claim against some of these guys. Now, for Zeta, that's a crushing 3rd round, man. They come in here, they lose the pistol, it's fine, you ride it off, they do decent damage round 2, and DRX, as I said, they didn't really invest that much in the previous round. They didn't buy up on the 2 players. They dropped over what pistols they could, played it as a low buy, and with that, I wouldn't say innovative strategy, something we've seen a lot, splitting through mid, going up for that top beat plant. They've claimed themselves a bonus. Now all they need to do is deal with these pistols, but there are a lot of them. Laz leading the charge with the Headhunter, but they're slowed down, and now DRX just shift their attention to the other side of the map where a plant should be secured pretty easily.
Yeah, I don't think that's something you're going to see too often, is 4 players pushing down B and the other try and load back through mid, but DRX cope with it well. Already looking to get their 4th round onto the board, and yeah, this after plant, I don't think it's one that you can really hope for too much damage. Again, though, if you start to look at the ultimates that are on the other side, like Laz is going to get his tour de force into the next round, save them a little bit of extra cash, and have a chance to basically lock down that B site, or maybe get a little bit more aggressive, if that's what we're going to see. For now, though, he's still got his Headhunter, and maybe that'll be enough. 1 bullet, though.
Yeah, well, he might just be able to get a kill out of it. Shot missed, though. And look at all that utility on the spike. They've tried to push forward and take some space. Instead, they've done exactly that. It looks like only 1 left alive for DRX, but MaKo gets out alive for 4 rounds on the board. A little close.
up and still with enough economy to buy back into the next round. DRX, if they manage to win this one, I'm really worried for Zeta.
Oh, for sure. Things start to spiral out of control pretty quickly. I'm looking at Stax here and saying he's got his ultimate online. Laz is going to try to use the tour de force. He's only got a classic to back him up. If he gets hit by KO here, he'll have no opportunity to take them down. But luckily, that ult comes in a little bit late. Laz is already well out of there. He's TP'd over towards Kitchen, and so he's still going to be able to use that tour de force if he keeps range. But look at DRX. They're looking to take range out of the question entirely, but 2 quick kills for TENN. That leaves the KO in the open. They want to try to get out there and recover him, but I mean, that's a risky move by RB. Okay, Deb really thought he had the flank open there.
Sneaking his way through. They're even going to kill off Stax, make sure he can't come back from the dead. But they still have to clear this Viper's Pit. And it's going to be a lot easier said than done. You can see the utility already falling through. The players aren't within it. It's just buying them extra time that they have to sort of almost hunt for this player that isn't even there. And they're just playing those lineups. They've got it to half, though. They could just dodge the rest. But MaKo, again, just swinging back in. He's having an incredible game so far. And now Laz is the only one standing. Someone's going to swing. But at this point, can he get it all the way through? No. It is Zest to close things out. And DRX, again, these afterplans have just been in
the hands of Laz. You're going to have Blade Storm for Depp, and that's you just about up to speed. This is not looking like a great round for the Zeta side, but they'll see what damage they can get done here.
Yeah, I really am going to focus on Depp a lot in this round. I think he's someone that, even watching within his region, can definitely be a little bit hit and miss. I think going on to what will be his primary duelist, we see him on the Jett, we see him switch over at times to the likes of Sage. This is the map where I need to see him step up to the likes of his opposition. And the thing is, so far, DRX, they haven't really needed Buzz to go crazy. Like, he's done his role, he's got them space, he's got them after plants, but realistically, they've looked better as a whole, whereas, especially in a round like this, when he's on that Blade Storm, I want to see him pop.
Oh, for sure. This is where value has to be found, really, and bringing that Jett through. You've got your extra little buy. 55 seconds left. Look how cautious DRX are being. They know that they're up against something. And they've heard that Blade Storm popped in the early stages. Look at this little bit of aggression, perfectly timed out of Laz. He makes his way through middle just as they move into the A site. But Tom, they have a misread on it. They think that they're setting up for a B play, so they've left A completely open. And DRX are going to walk in and find it for free, depending on the timing, because look at this. TENN is moving back around. Depp here with the Blade Storm, and he's just about avoided being detected. This could be huge. The information on the back of the side is there. The Blade Storm will try to pick off 1 or 2. No success to start with, although that shock dart lands.
Look at the time. There's only 15 seconds left. If they actually just wait for this afterplant to come through, there's a real opportunity, but Depp gets absolutely nothing. Teammate's still here. Crow will drop another, still has another shock dart to try and fire into the corner, and he's going to get himself a second. Jonas loving this one, leaving just Stax remaining. A 1 versus 3, an opportunity for a first round to come onto the board, but there's still a lot to be done. Laz will land the final headshot, and hey, all they needed was a breather.
That's all they did, a breather, a Blade Storm, and a big performance on that A site. Zeta are able to pick up a first round. They've got a few rifles in their back pocket. Can we see the same thing again? Because remember, this was a very different face from DRX. They played super passive. They started to push with 50 seconds left. Time was a huge constraint. We won't see that from them, well, I wouldn't imagine, back-to-back.
Yeah, and their buy round kind of sucks as well. Like, sure, they've got some ultimates that should keep them going along the way, and they've definitely got Buzz now with an opportunity to sort of show why we're referring to him as the Korean Jett, because this is the chance for him to almost take over the round. But again, they look to head towards this B site. It has been hugely successful, which again, for at least from EMEA, that's a rarity.
Yeah, for sure. The A site run-it-backs have been in so many times. I mean, just watch a G2 game. You'll never see the B site. This is a big stack out of Zeta. They're already in position. This could be dangerous. Hunter's Fury coming through, but it doesn't land to start with. And RB makes it away. Lucky too as well. Oh, well, maybe not so lucky.
Yeah, he's been caught out. Holding on to this, not going to be easy, but again, they've just got all of this afterplant utility being set up to try and delay. It's actually not landed. That's a bit of a problem. It gives an opportunity for them to try and get in, but instead, Buzz just goes popping through the screen and already manages to drop one.
He's got an updraft if he wants to go above. Running low on knives, but now he's refreshed up. The backstab coming through. That's Hunter's Fury out of play. A little bit dangerous, though, as Sugar Zero's dancing around. Crow's coming in to help on the other side. Stax, good for both, though, closing out the round and putting 6 on the board. DRX, again, having success on that
issue, and then the retake was just not there. Like, even with the flank, it seemed a little mistimed from the rest of the players pushing, and you can't give DRX a round like that. Like, they were already in a great spot. Now, well, they've just destroyed your economy as well.
And to be honest, RB, you know, that Hunter's Fury not landing because they put down a snake by the Hunter's Fury, it didn't really matter because Laz still managed to take him out. So, like, the intention of the play sort of worked, except the spike got planted, which is a bit of a downside, obviously. But at the end of the day, you know, it's from there when things fall apart. It's the fact that DRX are able to consistently find those trades. But I'm surprised they revert back to the play that we'd seen just the round before when Zeta had the Blade Storm and the one rifle to work with. DRX, a minute in, are still in their spawn. They're holding defaults, waiting for Zeta to push.
Yeah, and I think they have to expect it at this point. Like, with the B site, I feel like playing passively just hasn't worked out at all for Zeta, so being a little bit more aggressive, taking that little bit of extra space wouldn't be a bad thing, and with only a Headhunter available, at least for now, there's potential to see a little bit more if Laz can get a couple of kills, but he's going to try and play a bit more aggressive, but there goes everything. He doesn't even think he has his pistol anymore. Oh no, he did. He managed to keep it. Just
about avoided it, yeah, and he's able to TP out because of it, so that's given them at least a new lease of life. Unfortunately, nothing was found in that initial duel. Hunter's Fury going to be popped through on the attacking side. There's a kill from it. He knows there's another player in the area, and although it doesn't find the frag, it's at least thinned out the defenders that little bit. Good shock dart, and they've been on point so far. RB, again, he's not able to get out of there alive, and now it's a little bit more difficult, but okay! Hiding behind his wall, Sugar Zero still alive, Snake Bite down for the kill, but it is gotten halfway at least. That is a glimpse of hope, but Zeta are being pushed on. There is no stopping MaKo, and they know exactly where Depp is. He steps into the Viper's pit, and he steps right out of the round. 7-1.
Basically just pop it. Obviously, he's getting so many kills that the Viper's coming online every couple of rounds, and they don't seem to have anything to be able to force him out of that position. And even when they did, he was aware of it.
Things have been a little bit rough for Zeta so far. Now they come in, full buy, no pause afterwards. I thought it was interesting in the last round. You know, we talked about DRX and how they hadn't, on the Zeta side, being able to hold the B site, and you're maybe thinking that they're going to start to change things up, look for aggression. The same thing here. I think it comes back to what Bala was saying. He called them the kings of, or the conditioning kings was exactly what he said. And when you look at how DRX are playing, it does definitely feel like they're pushing forward, they're exploiting weaknesses, and then they're just sitting back and going, okay, what are you going to do now? How are you going to fix that problem? And they're not going to run in and let you catch them off guard. Great kill by MaKo. That's Laz trying to get the kill and TP out, but MaKo just doesn't miss, man. And he gets another. Come on.
You got your entry fragging Viper coming through. I guess at this point, they've just gone, MaKo, you're kind of popping. Do you want to just give it a go? And he's just wiped out their whole team. In the meantime, they managed to get the plant down, and he's already still lurking around the back lines, just waiting patiently. This man is having a worldie of a game, and it seems like there's nothing Zeta can do about it.
I mean, when you're feeling it like this, man, everything's working out for him. Even look at that timing. He decides to walk back down through Tube, has his poison orb up. That's decaying Depp away, and then Depp steps out of it to try and get a pick, and MaKo's waiting for him. It's like he knows exactly where these guys are at all times. Unbelievable for an 8-1 lead now on the attacking side. And we said Zeta, they're starting on the defense on every single map. If this is how things start out and DRX get to basically set the pace themselves every time, I'm very worried for the Zeta side.
Well, yeah, especially, again, putting into context that this is the map that allow them to then fall into an execute because you haven't taken any map control. They're very good at setting themselves up. And that, it almost seems like at the moment Zeta are just struggling to disrupt anything that they're doing. And because of that, well, they're getting slaughtered.
Well, DRX are saying to hell with those slow strats. Time to pick up the pace. A-side attack. Tour de Force out. No more slows to come through. No utility whatsoever for Zeta. They've got to do this with their weapons. And Buzz, he's already here. A double kill for the Korean Jett as DRX overrun the A-side.
Yeah, and again, now it comes down to a retake where one of your players is basically using an operator. He's already gone. They are just picking them apart one by one. Depp is going to get a kill just as he leaves, but a complete change of pace. And again, something that DRX...
He's down. They're going to have a lot more eyes on them. That's for damn sure. Looking at this attack, it looks like a default play yet again. They're going to set up for B, same wall going down, and we've seen ZETA fall for this before. Remember the round they rotated off A, left it completely open, and the only player outside of B was Zest. He was just giving it away completely. He was selling the fake perfectly. They hope this time they can do something similar and cause ZETA to get a little bit confident and push down mid or something. But these guys, I mean, at this stage, looks like they're almost just playing scared, holding back, waiting for DRX to do something.
Yeah, and on the other side, DRX are like a regiment. They're just set up waiting, making sure that no one can get cheeky, no one can take any space. And in other words, no one can get any information. Instead, I actually like this change. ZETA's starting to set up into mid, looking to maybe catch them off guard with a little bit more of a push in that direction. The issue, though, is how much can delay. Like, will they be able to delay enough for this flank to matter? And on the other side, they still have MaKo just waiting and watching. And with the drone being heard, I think they're going to have a decent idea that they're coming around the back.
Well, the idea might not matter. That's MaKo down, the big player for DRX so far. Zest has caught players off from this corner before. They should be clearing it, and that they are. Down he goes, another player. Lost for DRX, but hold on. Surely they're not recovering this immediately. The spray for RB connects. The res is through. DRX are steaming back into the lead. In just a matter of seconds, this round just flips into their control. And now things are looking pretty miserable. Sugar Zero does his best, but I mean, there's just too much to play against here.
RB's timing, even off the swing of the drone, just hands him a free kill. And Crow, like, what can he even do at this point? Finds the first at least. 3 bullets left in the clip, and RB's going to swing off the back of the ping. Another play
that DRX are going right now. I mean, Buzz even has Blade Storm coming into this final round. Give him a little bit of diverse battles to take. ZETA seemed to be, well, at the start of the round, 2 players stacked up on B. I was thinking maybe they were going to start shifting forward, and indeed they are.
Like, because I've seen that Viper's Pit online for a little bit now, and I'm curious where, like, he's got himself the Spectre, so he could definitely sit within it. They could use that to try and lock down some control on the other side of the map. Either that or they're trying to save it for a retake scenario, but I almost feel like they have to be more proactive at this point and try and take some map control away.
Yeah, I do also think, though, when you look at how DRX have played, which has been just straight blitzing, and even when they've blitzed into 5 players, they've still won the round. So I kind of get it from ZETA, just not gambling and putting all their eggs in one basket. Good opening already for Laz, and there's another. Still has his TP to work with, so he's going to stick around here, knowing that he can anchor himself over towards Kitchen if he needs. This is a perfect start to potentially double up on ZETA to close this out. He can't go too much further.
Yeah, not worth the risk, especially at this point. And well, I guess he could just stick around for even longer, just trying to wipe out their squad all on his own. They haven't spotted the swing out from stax. He will be able to trade one out. Sugar Zero is going to go swinging, but he'll win that important battle. Looking like their second round is almost guaranteed, but I was going to say the last man standing was MaKo, but thankfully they'll be able to get
across the line. I don't, but it looks like DRX do. They're speed running this map. And we're going to be jumping in with a lot of information to play with DRX. They've spotted 2 players. They've heard a stampede outside of A. And Stax, well, he's going to play the retake that they've already set up, taking the orb and getting out of there.
Yeah, they have a lot of utility for it as well. Like, you look at the Snakebite, Shock Dart, Fragment, they're all just basically set up to try and damage that player who looks to go for the plant as much as possible. And they're looking to try and catch out the mid-rotate. This is a problem. Sugar Zero going down will leave them without the screen, so that they've already lost a big part of their utility as they try and make the entry into the site.
Now we've seen Stax set up for this already, but that's to stop them from down below. Unfortunately, they have planted above, leaving TENNN in a pretty good spot. Shock Dart comes through, and again, not going to find anyone. ZETA primed for this. They've lost 1 player, and DRX are retaking on purpose, and they have a Viper wall down to help them do that. So we need a duel to go their way, equalizing this up, but Dep's caught on the way back out. Headhunter running out of ammo, and the TP's needed to get on out of there. There's the wall to allow the defuse to already come through halfway, and this is looking like it's done. The defuse right under their nose. All the kills are theirs, but they can have them. DRX have taken 11. Because the immediate reaction when the wall went up, everyone tried to shoot it, but DRX were right on them. They pushed straight away, meaning that there was no way to destroy it. You've got a classic, you've got to be spraying it from the second it goes up, and now there's players trying to kill you while you're doing it. So that was a lost round the second the wall came into play, and DRX had that much of an advantage to work with. Depp, well, he's been solid with that weapon in the past, but this time the Sheriff won't find anything. Another opening for DRX.
Yeah, it's almost a little bit of a fake as the remainder look to try and actually make a way in towards the B site. already spotting out Laz as well, so they've denied so much extra control. It's just going to have to be a straight-up push into B, and I'll be honest, I don't believe there's going to be much success off of this when there's already 4 players there.
Oh, this is starting to look a little bit scary for Zeta because they've got pistols. They're moving up towards an open site, and if they don't have some very interesting ideas of how to get this done, I'm looking at an aggressive wall. No wall at all. It's one of those rounds. They're trying to bait players into open combat. They know they won't win for the most part. And look, if you put that wall down, 400 credits, then I'm not going to agree is worth spending in this round. So they've made the right call. They're going to get massacred just by the nature of this round, 12-2. And they'll be able to invest coming into what could be the final.
So it's a very scary time if you're on the other side. And with 3 players already building up, it looks like they're just going to aggressively push forward. And because of the 0 point they've been throwing over the last couple of rounds, nobody really took any ground. And Buzz, aggressive, and he gets out.
That dash working perfectly to get him around the corner. But here's where at least Zeta can claim some of the advantages. They've got ranged fights on offer. Laz is trying to get a little bit aggressive. He's pushing up into them, and that's not expected. He'll be able to convert. RB down, numbers equalized. This is what you want in this round. Look for DRX. They've got weak weapons. So in heads-up duels, they should be losing. In fact, 50 HP left on Buzz. He was being tagged up that whole time. And they're trying to initiate some of these engagements, and successfully. Buzz shouldn't be able to get another there. He's bailed out, like he got snake bit and everything.
I don't understand how he's escaped at this point. He probably should have died after the initial duel, and he's still swinging into angles that they're spraying. If they're going to try and fall back from here, I'm worried for them, but at the same time, they'll be pushing into a 3-man stack if they don't. Yeah, that drone obviously came over, so Buzz swings to try get them through the smoke once they get revealed. They have a pretty good idea of where he's going to be. I don't know if they saw him there. That drone got destroyed from backside, if I'm not mistaken. Buzz still dancing around. This guy's still alive. He goes down finally, but Zest steps up to close this out by the looks of things. 13-2. We had our concerns about the Japanese region coming in.